Okay, so here we are on the R Robot page. We're getting ready to start our project. And I just want to go over these directions with you because people get really confused about it. So let's start with this section at the top. This project is a partner presentation. Period one, you guys have already selected your partners. One partner is going to create a Google presentation titled Our Robot and give their partner edit access to the presentation. Don't do this right now. We're just going to take a look at what's going on. So tuck in your keyboard and your mouse. So guys, tuck in your keyboard and your mouse. Because this part is we're just going to talk about it. So I can make sure to answer questions. So if you could tuck in your keyboard and your mouse, that'd be great. Okay. So both partners should put the presentation in their automation or robotics folder in the Google Drive. So once you share that presentation, you have access to it, put it in your Google Drive, and embed the presentation on the Our Robot page. So we have the Our Robot page, and we put in the Our Robot reflection, which we're not going to work on yet. But then this is going to be the embedding of the Google Doc on that same page. Are we okay so far? Okay. Work together to answer the following questions in your presentation, one question per slide. So these are literally the questions. It lines it out slide by slide. I cannot tell you how many times we have done this presentation, and I had half the class go, well, what do I put on my slides? It's right here. It's right here. So let's take a look, and we're just going to quickly go over everything. So this is slide number 1. Slide number 1, it tells you exactly what to put on it. The title should be the name of your robot. The subtitle should be your partner's name. That is slide number 1. Check. Slide number 2, you talk about the robot's jobs. Slide number 3, you talk about where's the robot used. Slide number 4, you talk about programming and coding. How does this robot learn how to do what it does? Slide number 5, what sensor does the robot have and how does the robot use these sensors? Sensors like camera, touch sensors, gyroscopic sensors, motion sensors, stuff like that. Number 6, name some advantages and disadvantages of using a robot to complete the task that robot does. 7 is a pretty tricky one. You need to describe the impact the robot has on its intended audience, or could. It could be an intentional impact, an unintentional impact, a positive or a negative impact. So like the Dr. Kellogg, who invented the breakfast cereal, he invented cornflakes. He intended to make a new bread that was highly nutritious and easily digestible for his patients. So his intention was to make a really healthy bread. An unintentional good result was that he invented the breakfast cereal. And that's the thing. So that was an unintentional impact of what he was trying to do. Slide 8. What type of jobs and careers can this robot create to provide employment? We're not talking about the robot doing the job. Like if I have a robot, let's take the Roomba, for example. The Roomba is a vacuuming robot. We're not going to say the types of jobs that the Roomba can create is the Roomba can clean rooms. No. We're talking about jobs in robotics for people. The jobs that the Roomba could create would be design and development jobs. There needs to be people designing and developing the Roomba. There needs to be people selling the Roomba, so there's marketing jobs there. There probably has to be a customer service hotline, so there's probably people sitting in a call center answering questions that people have about Roombas. You see what I mean, where I'm going with this? What are the jobs that people need to be doing to keep the robot up and running? So that's kind of all about people. How does this robot create jobs for people? Let's see, number 9, predict and explain how this robot may be altered to perform more different tasks in the future. The Roomba might be modified in the future to be a moppa. It could have water and mop the floors also. Maybe that's a prediction you have for your robot. Not saying necessarily do the robot, but Slide number 10. If you've got sketches, pictures, and videos, you can put them on slide 10. You can put pictures all over in your slide if you want, but make sure that they're not distracting and they're useful. I had a guy do a presentation about a drone, and on every single slide, he had a picture of a different sports car. And everybody, the whole presentation was very confused as to why there were pictures of sports cars on their slideshow. So slide 10, like a little 30-second clip of a video would be great. You can use the insert video thing in Google Slides. And the last one is one of the ones that we're going to create first. Is your last slide is your works cited page. You need to have 5 links to resources. Okay? Only one of those may be a wiki source. So you can have 1 wiki source and 4 other sources for a total of 5. A word of warning down here, do not use other student prezis as a source. Aaron, put down your mouse. You can't use prezis as a source because those are other students doing the same presentation. You need to find actual resources, and I'll show you how to do that. The reason we want to make our works cited slide first is because as we're doing research, we can add in the works cited as we go, instead of trying to do it all at the end and dig through your history and trying to figure out what information you're using from what websites, okay? YouTube is not a resource. YouTube, you can watch videos on YouTube, but someone else did the video. YouTube hosts them. So think of YouTube as like a basket, and Charlie puts an apple in the basket, and Jonathan puts an orange in the basket, and Aaron puts a banana in the basket. And if you go into the basket and you get a banana, you're like, YouTube gave me this banana. Nope, Aaron gave you the banana. You need to look and make sure that you know where this banana came from. So you need to look in YouTube and figure out where that video came from, who made it. Okay? Same with Google Images. Google is not a resource. Google's like a basket. Everybody puts their stuff in the basket, and you take stuff out of the basket, and you gotta figure out where it came from, which can be tricky, but I'll help you through that. That's something that we can work together on. So how many slides total do we need at least? Jonathan? 11. You need 11 slides because there's 11 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you kind of know what's going on now? Okay. So people who have partners, I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to turn that. Hang on. We'll go through the rest of ourselves.